Next, we'll select the Soil Map tab. That's what you're going to find up here at the top. But before we go there, there's a cautionary tale we need to remember. All maps are made at a scale. And we've talked about scale some. You can't use a map at a scale beyond what it was mapped at, or it becomes invalid. So if you try and zoom in too close, you get a message that says the map may not be valid at this scale. If you really want to do some site-specific planning for smaller areas, you need to have a soil scientist come out and look at your site and help you, because a soil map was not created for that purpose. Let's go on now that we've had our caution. Once we click on our soil map tab, we're going to end up with a legend and a soil map. So we click on soil map up here, it loads it, and I have a legend on this side, and I have a soil map on this side. All the little squiggly orange lines there with numbers inside them, those represent the soils on the site. You can click on a map unit name, and it will pull up a brief description of that soil, where you find it, summary of those properties and qualities. So for instance, if I click on the sable, I get a report on the map unit description. It tells me some information about it, how it's composed, where you might find it, what its soil profile looks like, properties and qualities. All of this information as a quick survey or overview of that map unit. Now you have some numbers and names here. Let's take a brief tour, make sure we understand what those numbers represent. So first, over here, for instance, you see 86B2. Well, what you're seeing is a number that represents a shorthand designation for a soil map unit. All soils have one of these designations. So for the instance that I'm showing you here, the 43C2 is a Ipava silt loam, 5 to 10% slopes eroded. When I look at the 86B2, it was an Oslo silt loam, 2 to 5% slopes eroded. So the map unit name is 43. It stands for Ipava, or in our case, it stands for OSCO. And the surface soil texture always goes with that name too. So Ipava silt loam and OSCO silt loam. Next, we have the letters. And C is a slope class of 5 to 10%. In the examples that we have here, we see an A, 0 to 2%, a B, 2 to 5% slopes. You can have C on up to G. Then one of these or two of these have a 2 following the letter. That represents an erosion class. Those go from 1 to 3. If you don't see a number, as you like here, 86A, 86B, if there's no number, that means the erosion class is assumed to be 1, none to slight. 2 is eroded, 3 is severely eroded. Next, we'll go to the Soil Data Explorer tab, and when we do that, we're going to see a lot of other options available to us. The main tabs that we'll use for our work are going to be the soil properties and qualities, and the suitabilities and limitations for use. So what do those represent? Properties and qualities are characteristics such as chemical and physical properties, features such as drainage class and frost-free days, and then the suitabilities and limitations for use are interpretations based on those soil properties, such as things that would affect building site development, waste management. So we'll give you a quick demonstration here, and these will pick suitabilities and limitations, and we'll go to water management and subsurface water management system performance. So let's see if we can find water management is here, and then subsurface water management system performance. So we click there. Looks like we're going to need to subsurface water management system performance. Looks like it's going to have to think for a bit. Once I've got this menu, I will click View Rating. It gives you a colored map. The colored map, think about it as like a stoplight traffic signal. Green is go, it's good. Yellow is be caution, and red is there's going to be some major challenges using that soil for that purpose. So then you see the map unit symbol, the map unit name. There's a rating. Not limited is green, somewhat limited is yellow, very limited is red. Tells you why it was rated that way. And if you keep looking on over, it'll tell you how many acres are in that site as well. Now, let's continue. And this time, let's go and look at the soil physical properties and features, soil qualities and features, and look at drainage class. So we're switching tabs up here. Soil properties and qualities, soil qualities and features. Next, soil qualities and features. And then we want to look at drainage class. Once we get there, we will view the rating. Here again, we end up with a colored map. It tells us what the drainage class of those soils are using the map unit symbols, the map unit names. Gives us a rating for that characteristic, just as you saw for the previous one. Now, for your assignment, finding the K factor, the soil erodibility, and this is a water erodibility factor, and the T factor, which is the tolerable amount of soil erosion, is going to be an important part. So let us go on and look one more time for that. So where were we? Soil qualities and features. Those are going to be soil erosion factors here. So we'll click on that. We're going to use the whole soil, not the rock-free version. And again, we want to view the rating. Not only do we get a rating, though, we will also, when we come down here, we get actual numbers. Those are the ratings in addition to the colored map. These are the values of K. So if you're working on a quiz, if you're working on an assignment, and you need the value of K, soil erodibility for water, these are the values that you use for K. You would use the same thing to find T. There can be a challenge when working with soil survey data. For instance, the McLean soil survey, there are 4 versions of it. And only the most, and those of the values have changed. K and T have changed in each of those soil surveys, or at least for some of the soils, in the one done in the 90s and in the one done in published in 2004, and then the current one, which is the online version that you find in WebSoilSurvey. So have to make sure that what you're looking at, that you provide the source of that data that you used. Otherwise, somebody might disagree with the values that you chose. Well, this is a brief tutorial on how to use WebSoilSurvey. I hope it's been helpful, and please feel free always to ask questions. Thank you.